Bezat Hashem, we're back over here, the Limut, Torah Kedosha, the Bet Knesset, Bet Knesset, David Chai, Baruch Hashem. We're trying to learn, continue learning Halachot Hanukkah. Bezat Hashem. Anybody wants to join us every night, 5:15 Mincha over here on 4601 Thomas Street. So far, I'm advertising so every day almost, and Baruch Hashem, you noticed, Rabbi Abraham, since you came back, we never missed Mincha on time. We started Mincha always on time, Baruch Hashem. So I don't know, for sure it's not because of my advertising. Okay, Rabbi Yaakov is here with us, also joining us, Baruch Hashem. Dobry večer. So, Bezat Hashem, we're back at Siman 671. We left off yesterday in the middle of Sif Katan Chav Vav and Vav. In Sif Vav and Sif Katan Chav Vav. But just let's quickly, today is the 23rd of Kislev, which is going into Tuesday, the 3rd day of the week of Pashat Shabbat Miketz. So so we said over here, if somebody lives, continues Mishnah Berurah, somebody lives on a building, apartment building, so he has to make sure, the Halacha said that he should light the candles close to a window, close to the facing the public domain. Even if the, sounds like, obviously for sure the second floor or third floor will be higher than 10 tvachim from the ground. ואם יש לו שני חלונות, אחד למעלה מ10 טפחים ואחד למטה מ10 טפחים, ועדיין יחנו בחלון שהוא למטה מ10 טפחים. So, I don't know how you have such a scenario, but let's say he has such a scenario. Somehow his house is structured.
Like your house, if you put it in the second floor, you're more than 10 tefachim.
No.
By the ground level, you 10 tefachim.
No, by the window for sure is above 10 tefachim, always. Most windows today structured at above 10 tefachim. This is a regular size of the window.
No, that's not house window. House window is
a little bit down. That's more or less is like this.
What's 10 tefachim?
Otherwise, yeah, 80 centimeters. It's about 10. It's about 10 inches. It's about 40 inches from the ground. Yeah, most houses
40,
today, no, not 40 inches. Yeah, this is the thing. This is right. You don't want people to fall down. The windows are not low. You don't want people to start falling off, so they have to raise it above 10. Remember, there's a shiloh of ma'akeh. There's a question of if it's somebody who has to harm himself. Children, for sure not. Right? So I don't know. Okay, so let's say so. Mr. Berurah just wants to point out, like Rabbi Yonah, if you have such a scenario that you have many people have, by the way, doors, glass doors into the house. Okay? So those are plenty. Look, that's the window glass right there. Right? So that's down. So light it there. That's what Mishnah Berurah is telling us. Light it where you're going to be in a scenario below 10 tefachim. Remember, why does Mishnah Berurah explain Mishnah Berurah pushes below 10 tefachim? As we said yesterday, very important nekudah. Very important nekudah. Is that we don't want it to be a light source. If it's above 10 tvachim, it's like a light source. It illuminates more area. And therefore, to prevent that, Chazal instituted between 3 and 10. Better between 3 and 7 b'chlal. That's the best. But, okay, they give you a little bit more, up to 10 tvachim. But that's the reason. בנרות בית הכנסת, המנהג שהמנורה במקום גבוה. So here's Mishnah Berurah already telling us in Bet Knesset the minhag, and I was actually going to attack this today, but looks like Mishnah Berurah is telling me don't you dare. I was going to tackle the whole thing today about this. I was planning to sit down and say, wait a minute. If you're telling me because it's an illuminating light, you don't want it to be like a projector light, right? So therefore, why Bechlal we're even lighting outside so high? So he's telling you in Bet Knesset, because it's Pirsum Nisa, right? Let's say you put in a Bet Knesset over there by the Teva. Right now, the way it's situated is above 10 tefachim for sure. The way we have it right now in the Bet Knesset over here, right? If you're gonna put it lower, anybody gonna see it? B'chlal? Somebody sitting behind the guy in the back. I just tell you by the door already of the back, you won't be able to see that. So low. So lechora in the Bet Knesset. So that's what Chaim wants to say. Since nobody's yotzeh with it. Nobody's yotzeh with it, and it's Pirsum Nisa Neto. It's Pirsum Nisa Neto. Therefore, we could light higher. No, because there's
Anyhow, you're not doing bracha.
Of course you do bracha. You walked in the middle of Rabbi Shabbat and everybody talk or after talk?
No, he said you do bracha
Of course
only
we
with
do.
minyan.
Yeah, so do it. So you see, there's a bracha. So there is a category of bracha. Why today they're making? So again, so why do we have a bracha over there? You're gonna ask a better question. Rabbi, what's the better question? Why in the world I make a bracha in the Knesset? Just light the Hanukkah and that's it. Right. So what I need the bracha for? So the bracha is it's a twofold, right? So what's the Nadlik der Chanukah, right? So you're not doing the bracha l'shem mitzvah. You're doing it for the nes. So you're making a big spiel out of it. You make a big event out of it, and everything with the bracha makes an event. I think that's the only reason. Well, maybe we'll discuss it right now. Maybe. So what about lighting it above 20, about 40 feet, 20 amot? The la shalte be'ena. So the whole problem with that is since the same thing like a sukkah, same thing the schach you don't see. Since you don't see the schach, and there's a mitzvah actually to see and to have a physical pleasure. When you see something, you have a physical pleasure from it. Walk into a building, you don't see the ceiling, you don't appreciate it much.
What they do in a 20-story high rise? I'm living in a 19th store. Nobody will see my Hanukkah.
No, one second. So that I already answered yesterday. Most of the probably, if you live in a 19-story building, there is a 19-story building next to you.
Not necessary.
No, yes, necessary. Yes, necessary. Don't tell me no, because 99. I was just driving today in the Hillcrest over there. They have buildings, big buildings, right? Hillcrest, right here. You've been there? They have apartment buildings, like 7, 8 stories, and they're all in a row next to each other. You see it.
Yeah, but if you're facing, for example,
so let's say somebody said if you're facing a beach,
park, or you're facing an ocean,
facing the ocean, right?
You got a problem.
Front. You got a beach front. That's what's called beach front, right? You pay so much money.
$5 million, but you cannot do presuma dines.
So presuma dines. In that case, then we're going to rely on the mefarshim was going to say you light in your table, dining room table, in yotze also, because you see it. Okay, now. ואין נפקא מינה בין אם מדליק בחוץ או בין אם מדליק בבית. וואו. He's telling you, this is your scenario. There's no difference. Right? If you're doing it, again, but what is he saying? ואם מדליק מבחוץ ובין אם מדליק בבית. What's Mr. Brewer trying to say? If you're lighting in a house, and your house is 20 feet, 20 or 40 feet, 50, 100 feet above the ground, you don't say anything. Sounds like, I don't know what he's saying. There's no difference in madlik mibachutz or miben in madlik b'bayit. I don't know, because we don't hold like that. Rabbi, you hear that, Mr. Brewer?
I heard mibachutz and b'bayit.
He says, למעלה מ-20 אמה,
yes.
It does, because no ayin sholet bo, it doesn't matter if you light inside or outside. Outside, I understand. Nobody sees. What are you lighting outside for? Right? Let's say you light it in the balcony.
Inside also, people don't look.
But again, so how are we yotze today? Everybody is lighting. Who lives on the 100th floor?
It's from
No, that's not what he says.
Yeah.
The last shal tebe'ena ve'en nafkamina ben im madlik b'bachutz or ben im madlik b'bayit.
Meaning from the height.
Meaning, if you, let's say you live in a, I don't know.
From the height, for sure.
Question: if you take the asarat fachim from your floor,
20-story buildings now, it's like over 20 amas. I think it's like from where like from the ground, and you can taking like 20.
Is he? Oh, you wanted to tell me that he means that somebody lives in a castle and it has a huge ceiling on 50 feet to the ceiling. If that's what he means. That's what he means. That's what Mr. Brewer wants to say. I live in a 50 foot story my ceiling, my house.
This is 20 amas.
That's what he means.
Excuse me for interrupting.
Yes, Rabbi.
Did I not say anything?
No, he knows it already. He gets it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Rabbi, don't try to make, shalom bait over here. One second. I was hoping you're going to put in some input over here. That's not what I see in Mr. Burura.
No, it means from the floor.
Inside the house, what does he have to tell me? It doesn't matter outside or inside. What do you mean inside? Inside, unless I have a 50, is that what he means? I have a house with 50-foot story. 50 foot is my ceiling. Aha, so that's what he means. I don't think so. It's very hard to believe that's what Mr.
Why not?
means. Because it doesn't. Why would I need him to say that? What's the difference? It's inside or outside. Once you told me the Ner Hanukkah 20 again, but it's not. It's above 20. It's above 20 amot. So why do I need Mr. Brura to tell me? It doesn't matter if you light it outside of the house or you light it inside the house. Why would I need that for?
So why telling you about the 10 fakot? Why telling you the?
No. 1 second. He explains everything, but here I don't understand. Shulchan Aruch says you cannot light anything above 20 amot.
Yes.
You're not Yotze. Mr. Brewer came in and tell me a beautiful idea, and Ein Sholet both, because the eye will not have a pleasure from it. Very nice. So, but what bothers me, what are you adding? Outside or inside? Who cares?
You care.
Why would I care? Why would there be a difference in Halakha?
So maybe people will think that only outside you cannot do 20 amma and inside you can. You know what I mean? Maybe more specific that you cannot do or not of the side.
לדעתי הוא נותן לך יותר דוגמה שמותר לך להדליק בפנים. אם אתה נמצא 20 אמה, 20 אמה או 40 פיט.
No, that I understood already.
כי גם אני זוכר
the buildings in New York, in Miami, so nobody lit in
but we established it doesn't mean that. He's not talking about those people who live in the 100th floor, because those people are Yotze from the ground of their floor. Right, they live in the 100th floor. That's where you start counting. 10 tefachim, 20 tefachim, 20 amot on the chozach. I understand that.
Yes.
What bothers me, Mishnah Berurah, just this last nekuda. The end of kamina. There's no difference if you light inside or you light outside. I don't understand.
שלא תחשוב, אתה יכול אולי בבית לעשות זה בחוץ, לא שבחוץ אתה יכול.
Why would I think that? Shulchan Aruch told you anything over 20 amot. That's it. Shulchan Aruch told you over 20 amot is pasul.
But you need to be that specific. 20 amot where?
What's the difference?
It's a different maybe.
Nah,
כמו
come
שאתה
on.
אומר, קומה 100, אתה סוגר מהקומה שלך. אז 20 אמות, הם נותנים לך לספור מיותר למעלה, גם אם אתה
Well, it
יותר
doesn't say
גבוה.
anything to go look in the back.
Check in the back.
Again, there is nothing here, but let's say, well, there is something in Sha'aret Atzion. It says, "V'tas pri chadash kedat hatur, gdola kedat Rabbeinu Yoel, הלוי שרצה להקל במדליקים אפילו למעלה מ10 טפחים, מ20 אמה, מ20 בעיין בפרי מגדים, שכתב דאב בנרות שעבר ארוכים, לא שמקום עליו ולמעלה מ20 אמה פסולה." That's what it means. They're actually talking about that somebody taught in a house, you could light as much as you want, as high as you want.
Meaning,
In the house.
if you're inside the house,
Yeah.
it'd be as high as you
As
want.
high as you want. Because anyway, you're enjoying. What do you do in this house? You lay down on the couch like this. And you put your head up and you enjoy it. Since even that you will be not prefer.
Think about it. Even if you go look at preserve, right? The first floor. The first
Not talking
floor
about first
is
floor.
12 feet.
No.
The
Forget
second
about.
floor is another 10.
That's not a
We're talking
problem.
about commercial.
Floors is
Your
not a
own
problem.
house.
My own house,
My-
I have.
in the house.
No.
preserve.
My house is ceiling 50 feet high. The first floor ceiling is 50 feet high. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about here that there
Oh,
is
yeah,
a scenario. Here, Rabbi Abram was right, and I just pushed him off so easy. Did you listen to what I read for you? Now you're going to read it because you didn't listen.
לא, אבל...
Look inside שערי ציון.
נחפש לך את זה פה.
לא צריך שם, אבל יש פה.
לא,
למה צריך את המיסטר הזה? תסתכל לשערי ציון. Now, because you missed me reading it, you're going to read it yourself, please.
איזה עמוד?
שער ציון, all the way to the bottom, למד גימל. It's in the Rashi, למד גימל. Bach. Listen to exactly what you said, and I brushed him off so easy.
הבח ותא
שבי שם עמי.
חדש כדעת הטור,
Yeah.
ולא...
ודלא כדעת רבנו יואל הלוי,
שרצה להטיל...
להקל במדליק בבית למעלה מ-20 אמה.
כן,
You see, Rabbi Yoel wanted to say it's okay to light in a house above 20 אמות.
כן.
מעיין בפרי מגדים,
שכתב, דאב בנרות
שעבר ארוכים.
כל מקום שלב הוא למעלה מ-20 אמה פסולה.
Wow, can you imagine he's talking that there is a candle above 20 amot, a 40 foot candle. The world. Leandra, we think we're rich. We think we have something in this world. We got nothing compared to the previous generations. Go back to 300-400 years ago, there was a different world. What we do, huh?
What you mean by that?
They, Baruch Hashem, they had many things that we don't even have a dream about. Let's just think about it for a second. Look at the old construction.
Okay.
Today, everything is box. Everything is square. Everything is square.
Depends, what do you see? Like,
No. Even look at all those fancy buildings in Manhattan. Everything is squared off. In olden days, everything was round, beautiful.
Oh, well,
It's
go to-
clear.
road.
Box
go-
is easier to build.
No.
Go to
Much easier.
go to the new
Yeah,
building, like on Stani, you're going to see like circle, you're going to see like different shapes.
Again, circle of what?
Circle, like,
The building is a
Yeah.
circle. Okay, that's easy to do. Still, it's
Why?
it's all like a box because it's much easier to do that. I'm talking to you in old structures like
The whole structure when you
Here
have
and
like
there.
all
Every
kind of
circle
like
you see here and there.
Yeah.
Used to have
Yeah,
so
took
many
a long
places,
time.
but
everything
the house
was
was
everything mosaic. In olden days, everything structure was mosaic. How? Today, if you want to do anything mosaic, I was in
Costs more money.
London.
Costs more
They
money.
used
Of
to
course.
do things with their hands.
I was in London.
It's much, nicer today. It's like,
What? What are you talking about? No.
when was the last time that you saw
No.
a brownstone in Manhattan? Brownstone in Manhattan. When was the last
Nothing is
time?
mosaic
that you saw
today. Nothing mosaic. Somehow.
Nothing mosaic.
Even
Brownstone
let's
like this.
New York
made
Times
by
Square.
hand.
Listen, New York Times Square,
Right.
Habibi. Take a look at New
And
York
they
Times
are-
Square. They built it only 120 years ago. Today they cannot build such a
Only
thing.
the face.
It's something's wrong. Okay,
No,
anyway.
I used to renovate them. I see them
Okay,
inside. I see
gentlemen,
the
gentlemen,
doors,
I got you. Okay, it's my fault.
and
Sometimes,
going with the
you know,
peach.
the
I saw
Gemara,
that,
Yom
like,
Tov, Gemara says sometimes when we're learning in a group, it's good to bring out ideas from outside just to get everybody aroused. Okay, let's go back to the learning. Adkan.
Respectfully.
Let's go back. Okay, Chavtet lo yatsa. Lama? If somebody lit above 20 amot, he is not fulfilling the mitzvah. V'tzarech lachzor ulevarech. Now you lit the candles above 20 amot, and you think you're okay. It says no, you must put it out and now relight it. Whoa. Ken katav apri chadash. This is the way apri chadash learns. מעיין בפרי מגדים, מה שכתב בזה. Now, number 2, איש מצליח, he's not going to be so happy, but it looks like. What does that mean? רצונו לומר, number 2, somebody here?
לומר,
Rabbi, who, a second. רב אברהם, read it, please. רצונו לומר.
רצונו לומר שבפרי מגדים כתב שם שאם הדליקה בתוך הבית למעלה מ-20 לא יחזור לברך ושום ספק ברכות להקל.
Whoa, listen to this. Pri Chadash also holds that. If you light in the house from the first floor, from your ground floor, and it's going up 20 amot, not up the stairs, by itself, the menorah, that over there is actually a safek bracha if you should make a bracha or not. Ad kedei kach. Wow.
עיין שם.
So over there, some say that you should not make a bracha, okay, because of this question, because maybe your yoitz in the house. Because remember, why? What's the problem outside? Easy, because nobody is sitting and looking outside. But in a house, I told you, I gave you a picture. A person sits on the couch, he's relaxing, he sees it. So there's not a problem. So he says over here, that's why there's a question in the house. So Ayin Sham, continue there, look in there.
עיין שם, ואינו שחושש לסברת רבנו יואל, בתוך הבית שלטה עינה תפי מ-20 אמה.
Good, because in the house, technically speaking, your eye sees everything, every corner. Remember that somebody has a castle and he is 100 feet full ceiling. There's a little brown spot. What is he gonna do? Oh, Kalmazabaya. He is right away. It's his house. His house is a leak. Right away he sees it. Right away he notices it. So that's why there's not a problem when you light the candle. According to his opinion, Ulam.
אולם כיוון שלא מצאנו חבר לסברה זו, וכל הראשונים יחלקו בזה, אם כן, נקטינן כדעת כל הפוסקים, ואין אומרים ספק ברכות להקל, לחוש לדעת יחיד, כמו שכתב כיוצא בזה מהר"ם בן חביב בספר גט פשוט, לעניין קימלי,
אוקיי, וכן כתב.
עוד בכלל, תודה שם, וכן כתב בספר פתח...
One second. So he says like this. He says that since in the Rishonim nobody mentioned this opinion, in Achronim there is an opinion. The opinion is since whatever is in your house your eye could collect, could grasp, therefore that if you lit by mistake any menorah above 20 amot in the house, you're yotze because you're grasping it. He says so maybe there is a time to say, Ish Matzliach says, maybe there is no sabal over here, right? That the reason why we don't say sabal here, by the way, is that let's say somebody lit a 20 amot in the house, we tell them to put it down, lower it down, and relight it with the bracha. Why? But there is a sabal. We have a Acharon who says not to make a bracha. He says why we don't hold with this because no Rishon ever made a difference in the opinion. Once, and that's what Shulchan Aruch tells you, point blank. 20 amot, it doesn't differentiate. Inside, outside, it's asur, it's pasul. So if it's pasul, and no Rishon ever brought the opinion that maybe inside the house there is a difference, above 20 amot, so therefore we don't say sabal in this case. If you lit above 20 amot, put it out and relight it with the bracha. וכן כתב, וכן כתב בספר פתח הדביר.
בשם הרב נר מצווה, דלא חשנה לדעת יחיד שלא לברך.
Yeah, because so he's bringing you all the opinions that when there's only one rabbi who's bringing this in. Again, well, here there's twofold problem. Remember, we don't hold like that, by the way. We hold that if one posek, prominent posek, says not to make a bracha, then we don't follow the majority and we don't make a bracha. Because the halacha is not like what Ish Matzliach is pointing out here. Because remember, he says there's a twofold problem. There's no Rishon that said that you're yoytze with inside the house. So you need a two scenario here, okay? Le'an katav Rav Shazde Chamed.
חמד בשם הרב ברך את אברהם, וכן פסק בספר
שמח נפש, וכן פסק
מרן ראש הישיבה שליטה ביכון אור התורה בנדון דידן והניף ידו שנית שם, ושכן דעת הגאון רבי יוסף ידיד הלוי זצ"ל בישול ברכות יוסף וכן העיקר.
Now, however, listen to this. What bothers me, why I interject over here, this is because Ish Matzliach is telling you that it's you. If you're learning just face value Ish Matzliach, you might say, "Oh, okay, good." So if all the rabbis say to make a bracha, and one rabbi says don't make a bracha, we don't have to listen to him because all the rabbis said it's okay, right? No, that's not what he's implying here. He's telling you that in this scenario, when the person lived in his house above 20 amot, in this scenario, he brings you down all the shitot that say you're not yotzeh, make a bracha again. In this scenario, but even though he did say he brought you another sefer that you might get confused and you'll say no. There's one posek that says don't make a bracha, we don't listen to him, and we make a bracha. That's not true. I just want to point that out. What do you want to ask?
I'm saying 20 feet you cannot light it without any help, like a step ladder or lowering it.
No, he has a ladder.
Light it and then lift it to
That's
20.
not going to work.
So you are less than 20.
Adlaka oseh mitzvah. It cannot be moved. Hanukkah for 30 minutes cannot be moved. Whatever you light, that's the mitzvah. Must stay. What is happening here is very simple. What you can make it, you have such a bad imagination. You know, people have a library stories. You know those libraries, and they have a beautiful ladder that goes around. And he decided to climb on the ladder, and he says, "You know what? I want to like this year menorah above all my books." I came out of his mouth. I'm going to light the menorah above all my books. So he decided to light the 20 amot high. Because he has a big library. So come on, just make an imagination. It's possible. V'chenika, mihu, im niskar miyad. Listen to this. Continue the big mihu.
וכן, מיהו אם נזכר מיד שלא הפסיק בינתיים בדבר אחר, אין צריך לברך.
Here you have a scenario. If you didn't speak and you realized that you'd made a mistake, you remembered you went all the way up there and you lit the candle and you made a bracha and you saw a sefer Halachot Hanukkah. All the way on top. By the way, you're not Yotze here. Wow! Puts it down. Now, he didn't speak. Since he didn't speak anything else but Hanukkah, he's allowed to what? That don't make a bracha. Light it halacha, don't make a bracha. Upashut.
So now we need to lit it up like from the beginning?
He lights it again, but no bracha. Okay. That's all. Because he didn't speak.
So you shift it down.
Yeah.
Under the 20
break it down.
You lit it again.
Yes.
And then
Yes. Or trim it right there. Trim it 2-3 feet down, below 40 feet. No problems. ופשוט, ועיין בחזון עובדיה חנוכה, הלכות חנוכה, שכתב לחוש לרבנו יואל, ויעזור וידליק בלא ברכה. Wow. Rabbi Ovadia Yosef argues an older Rabbanim over here, and he says, since we have Rabbeinu Yoel, a big posek, and Rabbi Ovadia always goes by the Rishonim, he always follows it. But here, look, he goes out of the trend, and it says, don't make a bracha when you relight, even if you spoke of mundane things. Continue.
בכל מקום, עיקר דין זה החוק, דף מי מדליק בביתו בקומה הגבוהה מרשות הרבים יותר מ-20 אמה, גבי ביתו אינו
אין הגבוה כל כך.
ויש פרסום הנס לכל בני ביתו ולכל עלמא יצא ידי חובתו.
One second, what does that mean? ומ-20 אמר, וגבי ביתו אין הגבוה כל כך, ויש פרסום הנס לבני ביתו.
קומה גבוהה מרשות הרבים יותר מ-20 אמה.
Okay, so he says what? So again, he's telling you reality. Most people don't have such houses today. So, and let's say you lit it, and since you're lighting it for the whole household, then it will be yotze. What is he trying to say? גבי ביתו אין הגבוה כל כך, ויש פרסום הנס לבני ביתו. וכולנו יצא ידי חובה. Again, so because it's not so...
הכוונה היא שכשזה גבוה, הוא יוצא דרך פרסום הנס לבני ביתו, גם אם לא ראו את זה מבחוץ.
But again, so you're saying what? You think that he's telling you over 20 אמות? No.
לא over 20 אמות, אבל אמרת בניין גבוה או בניין נמוך, או זה. אני זוכר גם בשיעור שלמדנו שנה שעברה, לא איתך כבוד הרב, אבל למדתי בשנה שעברה שאם יש מצבים מסוימים שאתה יכול להדליק בדלת האחורית שפונה לחצר בכלל, לא פונה לרחוב.
But what do you need that for? If we told you to light it on a candle, why you have to go to the chatzir? You light it on your table already, it's fine. We're not learning right now what others Mefarshim say. We want to learn here. The books are in front of us, let's see what they say, and B'ezrat Hashem, I'm sure most people here already know Halachah. We've been doing it for many years. Only the reason why we look at Mishnah Berurah is just to see other inyanim. Mostly if you see somebody, let's say you come a guest, and you go into somebody's house, and you see he's lighting a 10 feet menorah in his house. So it's not a problem at all. Because everybody in the house, first rule we learned, even up to 100 feet in the house, your eyes catch. Your eyes catch. Now, according to Rav Ovadia, let's say you walked into a house, you're a guest by somebody, and he's lighting, he has a 150-foot ceiling, and his menorah is 120 feet in the house. Are you going to start screaming at him? I don't know.
No, but you cannot, הוא לא מוציא אותך, אתה חייב להדליק, גם אם אתה אורח, אתה מדליק אצלו.
No, that's different.
או שאתה מדליק בבית.
Okay, so you
הוא לא יכול להוציא אותך.
I said it just simple guess.
100 feet up, what are you it's gonna look like a light bulb. You're not gonna be able to tell what it is.
I promise you.
לא, כאילו מעל 20 אמה, לא עכשיו אתה נכנס לבית, היי סילינג זה מעל 20 אמה, ויש לך פרסום דניס, כי אתה רואה לבני הבית.
Think about castles back in the days.
Yeah, remember Zohar.
They have a very high ceiling and they have lapidim in the side. And it was more than 20 אמה and you still can see it.
אבל הוא מדבר איתך,
And it was probably very big.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, like this. It was probably...
Yeah, whatever it is. Maybe it was just a metal.
כמה זה 20 אמה לארץ? לא such a height...
40 feet. 4 stories. 40 feet. 4 stories.
100 feet is at least 10 floor building.
Yeah. 100 feet.
20 אמה it's 10 for building?
Minimum.
No. 40.
100 feet.
Stream Ama is 4 stories.
Stream, no.
4
is 40 feet, 4 floors.
4 floors. Yeah. 4 floors of Hanukkah.
30 to 40.
So I imagine, you could agree with me that if somebody has a house, 4-floor ceiling inside, if it's 40 feet up, it's probably 4,000 feet this way.
Yeah.
It's huge.
At least. At least.
If we could afford that already, he's not worried about it.
That's what
Yeah. Okay, חבר'ה, let's go inside. והניחו למטה מ-20. So now, למד, שים כאן למד. והניחו למטה מ-20, אבל הם הדליקו למטה מ-20, ונטלו משם, וניחו במקום אחר תוך 20, יוצא. אבל הם הדליקו למטה מ-20. So you lit, let's say you lit the Hanukkah below 20 אמות. ונטלו משם, and somehow you moved it. I don't know how you're allowed to move things, we know you're not allowed to move it. והניחו במקום אחר תוך 20, אוקיי, יוצא. ההווה הדלקה במקומה, דשני המקומות כשרים. So I guess you somehow moved the menorah. We said you're not allowed to move it. But now he's telling you technically you moved it. Right? You're not allowed to move it. Whatever you let, that's what it is. So he says, so Mishnah Berurah is just telling you, let's say a scenario where you moved it. Not a problem. You're not mechoyav to put it out and relight another one. Because as long as you're in the midst of, both places are kasher to light. Lechatchila. So again, so let's not confuse. Moving it, not allowed. If you moved it, says Mishnah Berurah, don't be worried about it. So now you hear another chidush. If you moved it, not a problem. Baruch Adonai Elolam Amen. We're going to start with Siyata Deshmaya Zayin. Yes. Thank you for joining us. Anybody wants to stay in Russian? We have right now Chumash, the parasha.